The New Orleans Saints were supposed to be the most boring team in the NFL, according to everybody. And look at us now. Now, Derek Carr has crotch in hand in the end zone on the road at Dallas. New Orleans Saints, Dallas Cowboys reaction and review. Ladies and gentlemen, this is seconds after the last play of the game. The game is final, 44-19. What else is there to say besides who dat? I mean, what else is there to say besides Klint Kubiak is my president? This is unbelievable. The turnaround that this team has had this fast. Everything that we said has come to fruition and much, much more. You know, at halftime, I went live and I said that, you know, I was high on this team coming in. I knew that Alvin Kamara fit this offense. I knew the motion, the play action. I knew the wide zone. I knew all that was going to work or could potentially work. I didn't think it would be like this. The Saints, I mean, no hyperbole here. The Saints are a legitimate, they are right now a legitimate threat in the NFC. They are right now a top 10 team in the NFL. This win at the absolute minimum, this win tells you that the Saints can play with absolutely anybody. I don't care if it's the Lions, who right now I believe are losing to the Buccaneers. Yeah, who right now are 27 seconds away from losing to the Buccaneers. This tells you you can play with the Lions, the 49ers. You can absolutely play with the Cowboys, play with the Eagles. So if you can do that, it's not crazy to come out of this game thinking the Saints can win the NFC. I mean, that is insane that 2 weeks ago, I put out to bet the Saints over 7.5 wins. We go from defending this team. We go from defending the Saints against being the worst team in the NFL, against having the lowest amount of points scored, all of that stuff. We go from that. Then we go from, maybe they're an 8-win, 9-win team somewhere in there. Obviously over 7.5 wins. And now 2 weeks into the Klint Kubiak experience, we are sitting here saying, well, actually, now that I look at it, they're the best team in the NFC. I mean, I knew Alvin Kamara fit into this system similarly to Christian McCaffrey because I knew that Alvin Kamara could do what Christian McCaffrey's asked to do. I knew that the skill set was relatively similar. Did I expect him to have 4 touchdowns in this game? To have 100 and quick maths, 180 total yards? 4 touchdowns, 180 total yards against the Dallas Cowboys defense. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. When we go over this, I got a feeling again, much like the Panthers, this will not be a Fugazi box score. Okay, 3rd down, we're 5 for 8. 4th down, LOL. We don't see 4th downs here. Held Dallas is 6 for 13. Let's see, we had 24 first downs with 15 rushing first downs. We had 56 total plays. We had 7.7 yards per play on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. By the way, right now I'm sweating out this Titans game. I had the Titans plus 4.5. They're 4th and goal on the Jets, 29 seconds left. Doesn't look good. Sweating out the Patriots plus 3.5. They're in overtime. So a lot happening here. A lot happening for the boy. 7.7 yards per play. So we beat the Cowboys by 2.5 yards per play. That is serious. And you also have to factor in that Dallas is throwing almost exclusively, so their yards per play is a little elevated. You could also say that ours is a little compressed. We had 432 total yards. We averaged 5 yards on the ground, 4 for 5 in the red zone, and we won time of possession. And we won the turnover margin by 1. So this was absolutely a deserved win, especially when you factor in it's on the road. Absolutely a deserved win. I mean, just really another unbelievable performance. Was there 1 sack? 1 sack. Micah Parsons, nothing. And Tom Brady mentioned it on the broadcast. Tom Brady must be watching the channel. I appreciate you, Tom. But looks like the Titans are not going to cover. Damn. Look at that. Brutal. Tom mentioned on the broadcast, but he said, Micah Parsons been irrelevant this game. Why? Because he's schemed out. He's schemed out. They're either running to the other side of him. They're either play action. They're either double teaming them. They're throwing screens around them. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And this team, man, this Saints team, this scheme, this system, all that stuff. I always say, like, the NFL is not 1995 anymore. They take that to heart. Rashid Shaheed is in the backfield. Rashid Shaheed's playing running back. Alvin Kamara's playing running back. Taysom Hill's playing running back. They got screens all over the place. I mean, Klint Kubiak, it's crazy that he is a. I mean, I know he's not a first-time offensive coordinator. I know he had some time in Minnesota, but it's crazy that this guy was just out there available. I mean, he looks like Bill Walsh. He looks like what he is doing to the defenses. He is absolutely like playing with them. He's absolutely like puppet master. He is doing whatever he wants. 3rd and 7, he'll do a toss. He does sweeps. He'll do a jet sweep. There was a series of plays where Rashid Shaheed was in the backfield. He runs the ball. Taysom then runs the ball. Then we do a screen pass to Kamara. Then we come back around to a Rashid Shaheed jet sweep. I'm sitting there. I'm like, it's hard for me to keep up where people are. It's hard for me to even keep up where people are on the field. I mean, over the course of like 7 plays, I'm sitting here like, okay, Rashid's lined up at 3 different spots, and he's been asked to do 3 different things. One was a jet sweep. One was a traditional carry as a halfback, and then one is a catch off of play action. Alvin's all over the place. He's catching screens. He's getting handoffs. He's getting tosses. Who even knows what's going on? I mean, they called a touchdown back that Foster Moreau had that I thought was a little ticky-tack on the Cesar Ruiz, illegal man downfield. That was a beautiful design. It was motion, play action, Carr looking the other way. Foster was wide open. We'll look here a little bit at some of the highlights on Twitter. So if you look at some of this, this is 2nd and 3. Okay, here's a toss to Rashid. Okay, this is a toss to, look at Talise. I talked about this at halftime. So we have, look at this. Look at the formation. You've got Alvin out wide. I mean, can y'all see this? Alvin's out wide. Taysom Hill is at fullback. Chris Olave's out here. Foster's over here. And Rashid Shaheed is in the backfield. All right. Foster motions. Linebackers are communicating. They don't know what the hell is going on. A toss to Shaheed. Fuaga's pulling. Taysom's blocking. Fuaga's trying to find someone to block. Fuaga can't find someone to block. There's so much space out here that Fuaga can't even find somebody. He's about to go block Mike McCarthy. What's next? Next up. So this is Alvin. Right, so we have Alvin here. Oh, this is the Olave. Yeah, beautiful catch from Olave. Very nice. Carr was good this game. A couple of throws got away from him a little bit. He wasn't as crisp as he was in the Carolina game. I mean, Carolina, he was literally perfect. But he was really, really good this game. I mean, don't let me say that like he wasn't dealing. He was absolutely dealing. But a couple of these, like this right here, is just unbelievable from Chris Olave. Very nice. Chris Olave, a number 1 on most teams in the NFL. The fact that the Saints have so many weapons to use that Chris Olave can sometimes get lost. But good stuff from Olave there. Let's see what else we got here. Keep going through these. This is the interception, I think. I think that's the interception. This is more. Is this the screen? Yeah. Beautiful design here. I mean, again, you got Shaheed in this like speed motion kind of situation here. Man, I don't want to turn the volume on because the NFL is gonna bust me. Play action into the screen. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to take a cold shower after this. We got the speed motion into play action into the screen. Boom. And then Kamara doesn't look washed up to me. What about to y'all? Cesar Ruiz on an absolute burner right here, running the 5-flat 40. Y'all think Kamara looked washed up this game? We got a lot of apologies. What the hell just happened? We got a lot of apologies that are going to happen after this game. We got apologies. This one, oh, this is the Rashid. We got apologies to Derek Carr. We have apologies to Dennis Allen. We have apologies to the offensive line, to Trevor Penning. We have apologies to Alvin Kamara. We have apologies to Mickey Loomis. We have apologies to Gail Benson. The amount of apologies that the Saints have to have after these two performances is getting a little bit much. It's getting a little bit much. Let's go ahead and look at this one. So this is second possession of the game. I believe the number was 14 out of the first 14 possessions for the first string in the last two games were all touchdowns. Take a look at this. Carr is an absolute dime. I mean, that is a dime. He could have taken his uniform off, put on a UPS jersey, got into a UPS truck, drove it, and delivered it to Rashid's front door, and it would have been as perfect as this right here. I mean, look at this ball. Look at this. I mean, picture perfect. Again, this is the Cowboys. I think we can go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can go ahead and agree that it wasn't just because of the Carolina Panthers. I think we could go ahead and agree that the Saints looking this good is not just because of the Panthers looking that bad. Now, the Panthers might be that damn bad, but the New Orleans Saints just made the Dallas Cowboys look like the Carolina Panthers on the road without Marshawn Lattimore, with a less than 100% Talise Fuaga. My God, what else is there to say? I am absolutely stunned, shocked, proud, all the things. Let's look at this. Look at these drives. I mean, this is the best drive I've seen since Ryan Gosling. That's a Ryan Gosling movie drop there for the hit movie Drive, one of the best soundtracks of all time. Maybe the second best soundtrack of all time, number one being Tarzan, Phil Collins. If we look at this, first drive, 7 plays, 80 yards. Then obviously the touchdown we just saw. 4 plays, 70 yards. 11 plays, 70 yards. 3 plays, 20 yards. That's after the interception. You come out like, think about this. Dallas is on the back foot, okay? Dallas is on the back foot. They just got, more than likely, they just got their ass chewed in the locker room. It's 35-19 at this point. Dallas has to get a stop to even consider getting back in this game. And what does my prince, the king of the universe, Klint Kubiak, do? He says, how about I take a 13-play, 70-yard, 8-minute drive and shove it down your throat at home? Unbelievable. I mean, this right here, hang this in a museum. Hang it in the Louvre. Right here, Dallas is like, okay, you still have a shot. You get a stop here. You score. All of a sudden, you're talking about it being a 1-score game, 2-score game, whatever. 13 plays, 70 yards, 8 minutes. Nah. Take your shoes off. Hit the locker room. I mean, what a team. What a team. We did not have a running back. I mean, look at this right here. Look at Alvin. 20 carries, 115 yards, 5.8 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. Okay, let's look at this. Let's go to game log. Let's go to last year. Look at last year. Look at him last year. Look at him. Look at this. Oh, but the Saints have the worst offensive line. But Ryan Ramchek's not going to play. Oh, but Trevor Penning. Oh, but Alvin Kamara's old. Even though he's basically the same age as Christian McCaffrey. Alvin Kamara's old. Get rid of him. We don't want to extend him. Why would we extend Alvin Kamara? We have Kendra Miller. You don't have to answer out loud, but how many of you were saying that? You don't have to answer out loud, but how many people were saying, get rid of Alvin Kamara, let's play Kendra Miller. Get rid of Derek Carr, let's play Jake Haener. Throwing that out there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this last year. What do you think the difference is? What do you think? He had 5 touchdowns all last season. He had 6 touchdowns all last season, receiving and rushing combined. 6 all last season. He's got 4. He's got 5 right now. I mean, on the year. I mean, look at this. It's scheme. The NFL is a scheme league right now. That's what it is. That is what it is now. It is a scheme league. There's no other way to put it. It is not a, like, we talked about this all into the lead up of this game. It is no longer Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, blank player, really good. They're lined up against blank offensive linemen. We'll see how that matchup goes. That's not it. This offensive line bad, this defensive line good, a.k.a. okay, game's over. Maybe that's how it was 15 years ago. It's not how it is now. Absolutely not. Now you can scheme your way through stuff. Now, yeah, the players still have to play. Like Alvin Kamara still had to play the way he played. Man, did he play good. Derek Carr still has to play the way he's played the last couple of weeks, and man, has it been good. No doubt about that. But there is a marked difference this year than the team last year. Now I want to talk about the defense too. This defense looked like 2019 all over again. They were flying all over the ball. I mean, that's it, right? This play right here that you're seeing down here, the CeeDee Lamb broken touchdown, that's really about all Dallas did. And that was a broken play. That was just a whoopsie poopsie. But our defense is flying all over the place. All over the place. I mean, it looks like 2019. They are smoking people. I think it was the field goal that Dallas had where Dak almost got sacked like 8 different times, and then Brian Brzee forced a fumble that we should have picked up like 4 different times, and Dallas ended up getting it. Like, Brian Brzee is wreaking havoc. Cam Jordan looks good. Carl Granderson looks good. Chase Young, dominant. Our secondary, best secondary in the NFL. I'll just go ahead and say it. You know, I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. Unbelievable what this team is doing now. It is one of those things. It is one of the. Oh, I just found my thumbnail. It is one of those things where this team has completely morphed, and it goes to show you that a lot of the times, things like scheme, things like system, things like culture, things like energy, things like, you know, just the human element of the team understanding and learning each other and growing and all that stuff, that does have to get factored in. And we factored it in this offseason, and the Saints absolutely have benefited from all those things. The toxic culture that was here last year, see you later. Absolutely gone. Every single week we heard about, you know, infighting, cliques, certain players not doing the work, certain players doing this, certain players that. That's out of here. That's out of here, man. Every single week we'd come out of here after the game and say, why wasn't the game plan better? Why wasn't Pete Carmichael doing this? We didn't score in the opening possession, you know, blah, blah, blah. Derek Carr can't do this. Derek Carr's not the guy. All fixed. All fixed. I mean, all of it's fixed. And again, it's not saying that the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl. It's not saying that the Saints are going to go 17-0, but it's saying that they can. It's saying that they can win the Super Bowl. It's saying that you have hope. It's saying that as a Saints fan, you've got hope. Does this mean they're going to beat the Eagles, beat the Chiefs? No. Doesn't mean that. Does it mean that we can compete with the Eagles? Does it mean we can compete with the Chiefs? Yeah, it does mean that. I'll ask you this. Obviously, Atlanta plays Philly Monday night, but how you feeling about the South? Kurt, Colin Cowherd, y'all still think it's a 2-horse race? Colin Cowherd, the Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, and the Atlanta Falcons are undoubtedly better than the New Orleans Saints. Kurt, the New Orleans Saints would be lucky to win one game this year. He sees one game on the schedule. Nope, not anymore. I mean, I was saying we split, you know, like we split divisional games against Atlanta, like the Chargers, who knows, games like that, you know, the Broncos, Raiders, like, who knows. I know now. There's no way right now you could say we're dogs against Atlanta. I would go ahead and guarantee you those numbers are going to change. Before the season, we were +1 underdogs against the Giants. You think after this game we're still going to be underdogs against the Giants? Nope. You think we're going to be 3.5 point dogs on the road against the Chargers? Nope. This is the week. This is the week that everyone is going to glaze the Saints. You can't not. You cannot not, as they say. You can't say, well, it's just the Dallas Cowboys, like they did with the Carolina Panthers. Because, yeah, Bryce Young sucks. We know that. Well, Jerry Jones just paid Dak Prescott $60 million to get dog walked in front of God and everybody against the Saints. So, Micah Parsons is a superstar, defensive player of the year level player. He might as well have been in a different zip code. That right there is the closest he got to Derek Carr all game. That right there. This right here is the closest that Micah Parsons was to sacking Derek Carr. And Derek Carr is crotch in hand. Derek Carr, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks ago, the New Orleans Saints were supposed to be the most boring team in the NFL. The New Orleans Saints were supposed to be the most boring team in the NFL, according to everybody. And look at us now. Now, Derek Carr has crotch in hand in the end zone on the road at Dallas. In Jerry's world. Does this look boring to you? This is borderline not safe for work. The last thing this team is right now is boring. Klint Kubiak is, I mean, right now, Klint Kubiak is kind of what Mike McDaniel is supposed to be, right? I mean, is that a little much? Maybe. But, I mean, right now, is Klint Kubiak the hottest offensive coordinator in the NFL? Is he officially ahead of Ben Johnson? Is he officially ahead of Bobby Slowick? I don't know. And we got a whole lot of season left. This is a team that right now, anything is possible. If you told me the Saints are going to be 11 wins, 12 wins, I have to believe you. It's hard to believe. It's hard to imagine the Saints punting, much less losing a game. It's hard to imagine the Saints scoring less than 35 points, much less losing a game. I mean, yeah, I'm fired up right now. Yeah, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, no doubt about it, but you don't have a choice. If the Texans did something like this, if the Texans came out, scored 40-something points, and then went on the road to Dallas, scored 40-something points, they'd be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So don't think because it's the Saints that it's a fluke. Don't think because it's come out of nowhere for 99.9% of people, not me. Don't think because of that this is a fluke. This ain't a fluke. This is a system. This is a scheme. This is a team that's completely bought in, is what this is. That's exactly what this is. Unbelievable performance. It's hard to get happier than this. It's hard to get better than this. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be covering this non-stop over the next couple of days. Last week, we had multiple videos every single day. I'm going to do that again this week. I may have 3 videos a freaking day. Why? Because I can. Unbelievable performance. Get on in the comments below. Sound off. I want to hear from you. Thank you very much for watching. Who dat? And I will see you in the next video.